Peace, peace, peace. Gratitude. Love, light, and wholeness to the collective. Let's start out, take a walk out today and watch the sunset. It's a beautiful wonder. The power of life, that raw force power. Let's give it time to look at our surroundings. You know, we're blessed to live in an area that has a deep cultural background. A lot of people don't know about Wilmington, North Carolina, things that it's been through over the decades. The one thing is, in 1898, they had the insurrection of the riots, because a lot of people don't know that this city was owned and run by so-called African Americans or blacks. And the Caucasian race decided that they wanted this for themselves. They pillaged and destroyed and burnt down buildings for their own gratification, to take what our people had so hard worked to build. This bridge right here, it's the Memorial Bridge, which bridges from New Hanover County over into Brunswick County on the other side. At one point that bridge wasn't here, and they would have to go to the other side by barge. Now, we're talking about the time of dirt roads and things of that nature. But you know, this town has a rich history, and they're trying to cover it up, you know, to make it comfortable or safe for the so-called European, the Caucasian race to come in and develop or gentrify for their purpose, for their needs and wants and desires. And one thing I'll say is about this is that they got to give it up. The time is limited. There's just one thing that stands in the way, and that's all of our people waking up and coming to an understanding that unless we unite as one and stop the inner bickering and the backbiting and the squabbling amongst one another, we're not going to be able to get anywhere. But I have faith. I'm not even going to use that word. Not even going to use the word belief. I know that eventually, when enough is enough, change will come. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that people will make a change when there's 100% dissatisfaction, and they no longer want to deal with the unequal justices that we have to deal with from so many different sources and places in this town that has such a rich cultural background. And at one time in history, when this was going on, the second oldest Prince Hall Masons, Free and Accepted Masons Lodge, Gibbon Lodge number 2, was where the people of that time of color came together to strategize on what they were going to do about this pilferage and killing and robbing our people of their land and their homes. And they're trying to cover it up. Yeah, they've taken down some Confederate monuments and trying to cover it up. But those that are rooted in this area, their families grew up here. A lot of people left and never came back, but some stayed. And, our people were pushed out of the city area, but they started to come back in as time came back around. But that's enough of that. I just want to jump on here right quick and just show you this beautiful sunset. Walking with my lovely wife there. She's afraid to come down this dock this far because it moves. It's actually floating. The dock is actually floating, and it kind of moves. Kind of got that motion where she gets kind of queasy. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's something that for so long we were caught up in religion and didn't know that was just retying us back to something that had nothing to do with us. We've always been a spiritual people, knowing our connection to the land and our connection to that glowing ball of fire right there that's 93 million miles away from this plane that we call Earth, or you may call it the planet Kai, or you may call it Atlantis. But one thing I'll say, everybody has their beliefs, and they look at things the way that they want to. And that's what we have to realize. Be free that. Don't force your beliefs on anybody else. It's up to them if they want to be a member of your tribe or to vibe with what you're putting down. Just understand who we are. We're the first ones here. We're the cream of the earth, and we were here first. We are eternal gods in the heavens. All of this belongs to the masses, but it's ours. We can't. A lot of times people really come down hard on the Caucasian race. They gotta understand those are our babies. They came out of us. So no matter what way you want to say, but if we follow the story of Yaqub that was taught by the nation, where there was a little boy, a big head scientist, while playing with magnets, decided, and he told his father that one day I'm going to make a race of people that are like us, but that are not like us. Because if you notice, opposites attract. Plus to plus will not magnetize, but if that magnet flips around, that plus will attract to that negative. And that's what our people have done for so long. But in the wrong way. So we've got to wake up, understand that we are living in a golden age. I don't claim to know a whole lot. I'm relatively new. I mean, I've traveled my whole life in the spiritual sense, you know, from when I was a child. You know, I used to astral project. I used to deal with different things in the astral world, and I didn't quite understand it. And from my great-grandmother's point of view, she taught it in a sense that it was ghosts and spirits. But I was tormented night after night, sometimes waking up with scratches on my body, things of that nature. But somehow I learned how to shut that off, because I would sit up all night afraid to go to sleep, because I know that once I went to sleep, I would enter that state where I would have to interact with these beings. And at that time, at that young age, I didn't realize what it was. I didn't realize that that was the astral plane. And I somehow blocked that part of my memory of a lot of things. And I'm kind of starting to come back online. I'm starting with the past, I'll say 5 or so years, 10 years, I've began to come back online and realize what was going on during those times, those frightful nights when I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't sleep. And I would go to school the next day, falling asleep in class. And, you know, corporal punishment was in place at that time. So, you know, you get sent to the principal's office and you get your ass whipped for falling asleep in class. But you don't want to tell everybody, oh, you sat up all night because you're afraid of the ghosts. And this city still has many ghosts that are still here. It's like a dark cloud over this city. And it has restitution to pay. Best believe, for all those souls that were shackled, chained, and taken down to, I guess if you can see, let me see if we can get you down that, further down that dock area there, down that boardwalk. Somewhere down in that area, they had an area where there was a selling block where they would bring slaves in on the Cape Fear River, and brought them down there and put them for sale. The underground tunnel that led to a mansion about 5 blocks north of that location there. So I'm about, I'm roughly 10 blocks from that area. But 5 blocks up, or 6 blocks up from there is where that mansion was. And they still have the slave quarters there. And they're still giving tours, horse and buggy driven tours of this place, where they still have slave quarters and the underground tunnels and things of that nature. And they have boat rides up and down this river. One came by shortly before I came out. I wanted to catch it. It's called the Henrietta, showing the rich cultural cultural lifestyle here in the Wilmington area. But with that, they're not giving them the whole story. But some of them, though, a lot of them. You can go on the internet now and find anything you want. But I understand now who I am. To all those out there in YouTube land, I say Lakesh, an ancient Mayan saying. I'm pretty sure some of you know what that is and what it means. You know, all of this is within me. What I observe is what I project. As above, so below. As within, so without. So this is the timeline that I'm on at this point. This here, plane. The airport's a couple of miles away. You know, it's a nice city, but you know they try to keep the people of color on a low vibration. We got to come up from that and apply ourselves with the knowledge that we have and stop this foolishness. Not understanding who we are and what we are. We're starseeds. And here so many times over and over and over and over and over to learn these lessons. And the one thing that I'm grateful about is that it gets easier each time. I got involved very late in life in understanding of what the conscious community was all about. Consciousness, you know, whatever you choose to call it. But it took me a while to get start putting stuff together. Watching different YouTube channels. And you know, I really began to understand who and what I am, thanks to a lot of influencers out there. I'll say they just love this. They just love this. I tell you, my cameras, I had to bring my dongle out the next time because I'm shaking all over the place here. I didn't intend to do this. I just came down and walked down to watch the sunset with my wife, who has apparently left me because she's afraid of this floating dock. But, you know, at any rate, I just want to tap in and give you people that may not know a little bit of history about Wilmington and what it's about. Yeah, it's that golden time of day. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Well, family, right about now, I'll say to you, love and light, wholeness to the collective. And I'm going to get out of here and find out where my wife is. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Peace.